My Bible's on the back bench, My Bible's on the back bench of the building. So bring back my Bible. Bad and two we're good. Got some spots to Canaan's land. 10 we're bad and 2 we're good. So giants, big and strong. Many sons have Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, right foot. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham.
Well, what's wrong?
I'm just sad today.
Well, why are you sad?
Something terrible's happened.
Anything I can help you with?
No, not unless you can buy me a new farm. Last night, my farm caught on fire, and I lost all my haystacks that I'd baled. That's how I pay my bills. That's my whole livelihood.
Oh, no, I hate to hear
Yes.
that. You know, my house burned as well about a year ago. But the plus side is you can use that excuse for a good year.
And we're still using it. It's already been a year?
Yes, it has.
And the boots, I'm assuming, got caught up in the fire?
Well, actually, they were rubbing really big blisters on my feet, so I thought, I'll keep the pearls, but we're losing the boots.
Losing the boots. Well, I don't want you to call me a farmer anymore. I don't even have a farm anymore. Just call me Haley Stacks. I'm not even a farmer.
Okay, Farmer Stacks, you've been preaching to me since we met about how I'm supposed to have faith and trust in God and remember His promises, and at the first sign of trouble, you're just throwing in your hat and you're moving? That's just a load of cow poop.
Well, I don't have a hat, so I'm not throwing in anything. But your words are inspiring, and they are helpful, I guess, if makes me feel a little bit better. So, I just don't even know how I'm going to feed myself. How am I going to feed my animals? How am I going to do anything?
Farmer Stacks, you have to be more positive. It's what you were teaching me. You have to have faith, and you have to trust in God. And besides, you can't just leave. I don't even know how the story of Joseph ended. You have to finish telling me. If God's promises for him are true, and God's promises for me are true, then they have to be true for you too.
Okay, you have a point. I get it.
Of course I do. Now buck up and tell me the rest of the story, and let's go figure out how to save your farm.
All right. Well, as far as the story goes, Joseph stayed in prison for a little while, okay? So he was in there for a little while, and God was still watching over him. So even though he was in prison and he thought it was the most horrible thing in the world, God still had his back. He was still watching over him.
So we will learn the rest of the story.
Yes.
Now. Go. Ooh, the director got onto you.
That's rude.
Oh,
That was really
hello there.
Your mic on.
Yeah,
I'm Joseph. How are you? You like my outfit? I got a pretty outfit now. I got a big new position with Pharaoh, you see. Hey, you slaves. No, you slaves. Get that grain together. Hurry up. Make it snappy. Come on, keep working. We need all this grain picked up by the morning. Keep working. Let's go. Bring it in. Hurry up.
Are you even picking your end up back there? I feel like I'm carrying this whole thing. Oh, man. All right, the boss is up here. Be careful. Hey.
Hey.
Joseph! Hey, man. What are you doing?
What are you doing down there? You keep falling. What's going on?
Hey, set it down for a minute. Set it down.
Come on.
Oh, man.
You know what? It seems like I remember you from somewhere.
Oh, you gotta be remembering me, man. Come on.
I remember our prison days.
Yeah. Hey, you remember our buddy in the cell with us?
Was it Francis? Stanley?
Sure.
Stanley, okay. Yeah, I thought it was
We'll
Stanley.
go with whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I'm doing fine. I remember those days back in prison, man. We were slaves, just working our fingers to the bone every day, sun up to sun down. And you remember how hard that was? I was just miserable.
Well, it's been a long time since I've worked that hard.
Yeah.
But see, I know it's been a couple years. What have you been up to since then?
Yeah, you tell them what we've been up to.
Well, since we got out of prison, we joined the landowner down by the Nile River. and got a job loading and unloading goods from the boat. It's been a pretty good job, but mostly I've just enjoyed my freedom from all the long years in prison.
Man, I hated those days. Well, Joseph, look at you now. I mean, what's happened since the last time I saw you?
Well, let's go back. Let's see all the things. Remember I told you my brother sold me one time.
Yeah, that was not good.
Threw me in the well. You know, that was rough. Spent some time there. Then I became a slave.
Yeah, we
As
were slaves
obviously you were slaves together.
in prison together.
And then we got worse. We were in prison.
Yep.
But you know what? Through all that, and as you can see now with my incredible outfit, God has really blessed me.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so I've gone to prison to this, so I'm actually doing pretty good.
Yeah. And are you wearing makeup now?
No, I'm not wearing
Yeah,
makeup.
you are.
You want
You
some
got
earrings
makeup
with that?
on.
Yeah, I'll get back to work. Push-ups now.
Oh.
Yeah, the push-ups.
Okay. Oh, but you know, wasn't there some other people we met while we were in prison?
Now,
Yeah, you remember that?
it's going to be hard for me to remember the names, but
They had pretty good jobs, I think,
Wasn't
at
it
one
like
time.
Frank or
could be Frank.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, all I remember, one guy was a cupbearer.
Yep, that was
Pretty
one.
much
That was one
all
guy.
I can tell is he brought cups to the king.
Yeah,
That was his whole job.
that was a cool. Be a cool job.
Yeah, I figure it'd be better than being a slave, or yeah, it'd be better than being in the field like y'all are now.
Definitely.
But anyways, there was the cupbearer. There was a guy. He always had this bread, and he would roll it, pat it, stamp it with a B. Anyways, so I think he had some job. He's a baker.
Baker was his job. I remember that. Yeah.
So he baked for the king. So both those guys, yeah, they were in prison with us.
The baker drove me nuts.
Yeah, I wasn't.
All the time, talking about spices, talking about finding the best olive oil. I mean, he made me hungry all the time.
and that cupbearer. I'm pretty sure he always drank from my cup when we were in prison when I wasn't looking. He was really sneaky.
We all did.
We did. Oh.
Pretty sure everybody drank from your cup. But anyways, remember that time that the cupbearer came ask me about his dream? Y'all thought it was kind of weird.
I remember. And didn't he dream about there were the vine and had three branches, and had grapes on those branches? And he dreamed he picked those grapes and he squeezed them into the cup and he put that cup in Pharaoh's hands. I think that's what that dream was. You remember that? That was the way it went, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's pretty much it. He had the branches, he squeezed it. Well, here's the thing. He didn't know what it meant. So he came naturally and asked me. And see, God gave me the ability to interpret these dreams. So he came and asked me, and just so happens, I got to tell him the good news.
What was that?
Well, because of that dream, God was going to take him from prison,
Uh-huh.
and he was going to bring him back to the palace.
Wow. That would have been a great interpretation there. We were both out before that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long after the cupbearer got back in the palace were you still in prison? Because didn't you ask him if he would help you get out of jail?
So I give him the dream. I say, hey, remember me when you go to the palace.
Simple thing to do.
Simple thing. I'm a nice guy, try to help me out. But no. He goes to the palace. He's sitting all high and mighty helping Pharaoh. And does he remember me? No way. So for 2 full more years, 2 full years, I stayed in prison. My mom always told me to be patient, but it doesn't really help when you're in prison.
No. It doesn't help, but it will teach you that.
What about the baker?
Yeah. What
He
about that?
dreamed he had 3 baskets on his head. What did that mean?
So I got to give the cupbearer some good news.
Yeah, he got good news.
He was happy with me, but didn't remember me, but he got good news. So the baker comes to me and he says, I have this dream. Told me the dream. And I said, hey, honestly, because of that dream, I got bad news for you.
Bad news?
Bad news. So you're going to be summoned by Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's going to have you killed.
Ooh, not good news.
That's not news anybody wants to
Man. Well, he wasn't much help to you either, so cupbearer had to do something for you at some point.
Well, I'm still sitting in prison.
Yeah. Being patient.
Pharaoh has this dream, right?
Yeah.
He gets all this fancy schmancy people who think they know what they're talking about. And he says, here's my dream. He tells them the dream. None of them know what he's talking about. Not one person.
Nobody.
But see what happens is you got the cupbearer. He lives in the palace now. He overhears them talking. And he says, hey, remember that guy? Gives them my name.
Finally, the light bulb went off.
Well, so here's what happened. They summoned me. I'm able to get out of prison after, again,
2 years.
He summons me and he tells me the dream. Here was his dream. There were 7 thin, tiny, skinny cows, like some of you guys. They were off by the Nile River. You can sit down if you want.
Sounds like a long story to me. So
we're going to get back to those push-ups in a second. But anyways,
so you were saying
7 tiny, thin cows
all right.
on the Nile River, which is close to where we live. They come up out of the water and they eat the fat cows, kind of like that one.
The 7 healthy cows.
7 healthy cows get eaten by the small ones.
Huh. What else?
There's a second part of the dream. It is that there are 7 big, huge grains of stalks.
Got some grain.
And the second part is there's 7 tiny little bitty stalks.
Let me guess. The tiny ones ate the big fat ones.
Exactly.
I'm getting good at interpretation.
And you know what that meant?
What?
I was able to go to Pharaoh and tell him that the next 7 years we are going to have an abundance of food. We are going to be wealthy, we're going to be rich, and we're going to eat like pigs.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, that was some really good years. I mean, corn was growing so much, it was coming out of our ears. We were having to stay up day and night, harvesting stuff. I mean, all the animals were having baby animals. It was just like we were just flowing with animals and food and all the time. But I was really glad you came up with the idea that we had to store a lot of this.
Yep, that was a pretty good idea.
Why were we storing it? What was that part?
Well, remember, there was a second part of my dream,
Yeah.
Pharaoh's dream.
Oh, yeah, the 7.
Well, it meant
Skinny stuff.
skinny cows.
Yeah, skinny cows.
It meant that there were 7 more years coming of famine.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all.
Well, you know what famine means, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
If you don't know what famine means, that means nothing. That means no food. That means no jobs. It was really rough.
Yeah, we didn't have any rain or anything, so all the crops were dying. Didn't have grass or anything to feed the animals, so they were dying. But thanks to your plan, we still had food.
Well, it got close because at one time I didn't have enough money. I was getting so close. I was even going to have to sell my fancy belts. I didn't have anybody to fix my hair. It was rough.
Yeah, it's been a really rough few years.
But guess what? Through all that time, the being thrown in a well, being in prison, and the famine and all, God has blessed me abundantly to have the faith of where I am today, and I'm so thankful for that.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Well, if you ask me like that, I'd have to say, obviously, I was in prison. Now, today, you're looking at the guy who's second in command and over the whole kingdom.
You're number 2?
Number 2.
To Pharaoh, you're number 2.
Number 2.
Wow. Can you believe that? We were in jail with the number 2 guy. You're amazing, man.
You know, I'm lucky, I guess.
Yeah. Man, you know, you've had amazing faith, Joseph, through all of this. And God has done so much in your life. Man, He has blessed you with so much, and now you're number 2.
That's all it takes.
That's amazing.
Through the hard times, God bless me. Y'all
Yeah.
go and get that bag. Let's go. Let's go.
Can you get it?
Yeah, you just get it, Francis. Let's go.
Man, God is so great.
It's been great seeing you again.
Yeah, we ought to, get together for lunch or something.
Maybe play a little ping pong.
I like playing ping pong.
Yeah. Come on.
Incredible story. It sure sounded like God had a plan and took care of Joseph despite some pretty bad things happening.
Yes, he really did. And you're right. If God took care of Joseph through losing his entire family, his possessions, his livelihood, he can take care of me too.
Well, yes, he can.
Maybe I should start practicing what I preach.
Yes, you should.
And maybe you won't be such a cruddy farmer after all.
Yes, I will. Hey, that's not funny.
Yes, it was.
Now, that's not very nice. You're shouting again.
I know. It's that whole inside-outside voice thing, you know. I'm feeling better, though.
Oh, I can tell. On the bright side is all your advice about farming has really started to pay off. I'm doing much better, and so are the cows.
That's great.
Yes, now that we moved them to another
no
field.
more golf balls.
No more golf balls.
Woo, good job.
Yes, I'm really happy about
I
it, too.
bet.
For someone who's just thinking about up and quitting, you sure are good at it.
Well, this is true. You know, and my ability to yell loud, it sure does come in handy when I'm calling the farm hands down for dinner.
Well, your loud yelling being used for a purpose, if that isn't evidence of God's divine plan for you, then I'm a monkey's uncle.
Well, Mama says it's a gift.
If that's what you want to call
That's
it.
what I want to
Let's go
call
do
it.
some praying and let's get together a plan. Let's save your farm.
Let's do it! Hang on, Knuckles!
Oh.
Knuckles!